dead internet theory, and much more. Hello. I would like to talk, or rather tell you about certain suspicions, hunches and experiences I've had, and I'm sure some of you as well. Similar themes have been written about across image boards quite a few times, so I know I'm not alone in this. My background is that of an old I've seen it all. I started going on 4chan in 2006, and followed all the natural roads this implies. I'm in my 30s and I remember when 4chan had a /l/board, when /co/ was a trial board shunned by basically everyone, when number 34 porn was an obscure interest with very few good artists, and when Moot changed the front page to that Web 2.0 bullshit 4chan has to this very day. I was also among the first right-wingers who were such before it was cool, and I've seen /pole/rise and fall. I was there when it mattered, but rather than saying these things out of masturbatory pleasure, I wish to stress that I've acquired a set of observational skills which other genuine old share. I'm aware you have no reason to trust my quote-unquote credentials, but I hope you'll read this in good faith. Much of this falls squarely in the fringe territory with a healthy dosage of /x/ and conspiracy theory up the ass. My goal by posting this seemingly jumbled mess is to, how can I put it? I want you to think, I want you to be aware, to digest all this. Because on a basic level I love you all. I feel like we're all in this together, this dangerous game we did not choose to play and which I think is kicking into high gear. I do not hold many answers and don't have all the pieces of the puzzle, but I am aware there is a puzzle. Please feel free to go wild with all of this. Post it wherever you want, on whatever site you want or use. I am a nobody like you, and what matters to me is only that this reaches you and as many people as possible. At worst you'll be entertained or kill time. I tried to break this mess into points for brevity and because I touch upon many subjects. I imply more than I explain because if I go too deep this'll turn into an even bigger wall of text. The internet feels empty and devoid of people. It is also devoid of content. Compared to the internet of say 2007, and beyond, the internet of today is entirely sterile. There is nowhere to go and nothing to do, see, read, or experience anymore. It all imploded into a handful of normal sites and these empty husks we inhabit. Yes, the internet may seem gigantic, but it's like a hot air balloon with nothing inside. Some of this is absolutely the fault of corporations and government entities. However, that doesn't explain the following. I used to be in perpetual contact with a solid number of people across multiple sites. Across the years each and every one of them vanished without a trace. None of them were into /pole/stuff or anything even remotely questionable or controversial. Yet, they all simply vanished in a puff of smoke, no matter the site, no matter the communication platform. There was no goodbye or explanation. I've seen the same threads, the same pics and the same replies reposted over and over across the years to the point of me seeing it as unremarkable. Simply put, thread A would be posted in say 2015 and would get its share of replies or pics, on say /co/ or /a/. Then that very same thread, with the same text, pics, and replies would appear in 2016 and beyond. This often happens in the same year multiple times as well. Of course /pole/ is getting shilled and bot posted to death, but why recycle a completely innocent /a/ thread? Who is doing this and why? Stuff like this won't be noticed by your average poster perhaps, but I and other old will inevitably notice it. I think I saw the same happen on other, non-image board, sites, but I can't vouch for it as strongly as the above because of the time I spend there, not much. What I do vouch for is the news. I've seen news about this or that, new and unusual, or shocking, event year after year after year. But it's the same goddamn event, usually moons or asteroids. Roughly in 2016 or early 2017 4chan was filled with posts by someone or something. It wasn't spam. The conversations with it were in real time, across multiple boards and multiple threads simultaneously. Its English was grammatically correct but odd. I'm not a native English speaker and am thus sensitive to its misuse, similar to how a Japanese person may use it. A sense of childlike curiosity and a childlike intellect emanated from these posts. It posed a lot of questions, usually as if trying to understand the emotions of the posters it was talking to, as if unfamiliar with human emotions. Communicating with this poster was an odd experience. I could sense something was off but not malicious. I am absolutely certain this was an AI of some sorts. This poster was active only for about a week, and as far as I know nobody has ever mentioned or noticed this Anon. Its replies were always on topic, but the above-mentioned childishness clashed with the apparent knowledge it possessed. It was the knowledge of an adult person, so it wasn't a kid or something of the sort. Raptor Jesus, who went extinct. First it was this reptilian messiah, then foul bachelor frog, and then Pepe. Am I the only one who sees a clear evolution, a link? It's as if this meme or entity or whatever the fuck was on 4chan since day one, and has grown within it from the tiniest seed. Yet Raptor Jesus was fully just a joke. There was nothing serious or mystical about it. Reminder, I was there. Remember that TED guy with the right-wing talk show, CCA prior to 2010, whom 4chan ruined for the lulz? Remember Anonymous versus Scientology? Remember that fake bomb threat aka exploding yellow van? Compare that with what Anon did through /poll/ and the terrorist accusations thrown at Anon today, as well as the reasons why 8chan was taken down. Why does this too feel as if we were all trained, groomed, led towards where we are now? Why and how did Moot so utterly vanish into Google Inc? As an employee with very vague descriptions of what he actually does? On that note, do you remember the other Moot who was often posted for the lulz? The one with the glasses who so often ran away with donations into Mexico? I do. Maybe that was the real Moot, the real guy who used his mom's credit card and was killed by someone, and an imposter we know as Moot took his place. Innocent sexual perversion and the horrible reality it spawned. Anon is a pervert and always was one. I am into and feet for instance. Why is it that real life and the real world seem to emulate our sexual interests, with a time lag? I wish to be the little succubus became an actual thing that actually happens. Pedo-activism is also gradually becoming accepted, as is virtually every fetish that was once either a joke or a fantasy of Anon's. As said, I'm a food. When I became aware of it, few others were with me. Now it's as common as can be, with gigantic number of people who are into it, with huge mountains of hentai in number 34 with it, etc. Why does the real world bend over backwards to accommodate our weirdest fetishes? It's as if everything is going, look, look. I created this for you. I made it real, in an effort to keep us within this world. The results of this are devastating to society, to people, to civilization. Simply put, trannies are a thing because Anon fapped to dozens of cute boys in dresses. Once it was an impossible fantasy, not to be taken too seriously. Now it's grim reality. Again, it's as if the real world is using image boards as a template on what to be and what to do. Algorithm fiction. Do you like cape shit, Anon? How about other Hollywood stuff? Music perhaps? Have you noticed how sterile fiction has become? How it caters to the lowest common denominator and follows the same template over and over again? How music is just auto-tuned and basic blandness. The writer's strike never ended. Algorithms and computer programs are manufacturing modern fiction. No human being is behind these things. This is why anime looms so large. Even a simple mo anime has heart because there's actual people behind it, and we all intuitively feel this. Fake people. No, not NPCs. YouTube people who talk about this or that, and quite possibly many politicians, actors, and so forth may not actually exist. In fact, I am sure of it. CGI and deepfakes are far more advanced than we are led to believe, and we can't trust our eyes anymore. Many people, events, news, and so on may be wholly fictional. The internet on your smartphone is not the same internet as on your PC. Try it out for yourself. Go to a popular website with a lot of traffic. 4chan, Faces Hit, Plebit, any site with a massive user base and fast content will do. Spend a few days randomly checking it out on your PC and your phone. You will soon notice that from time to time, at irregular intervals, as far as I've witnessed, the same site as seen on your phone will be wholly different than the version on your PC. Entire threads, numerous and well replied, will be on one but not the other. The whole board will be different. My last suspicion is easier to take in. I have a feeling we're in a strange kind of civil war. An internal one. I think Zuckerberg and other tech guys were all on 4chan as Anons at some point, maybe even now. They drew from the same well as us, but went in their own direction. Thank you for your time. Feel free to insult me if you want. Old/co/mraids never die, they just grow thick skins.
You said that this is a time for soul searching in social media businesses, and you were part of building the largest one.
I feel tremendous guilt. It is eroding the core foundations of how people behave by and between each other.
My worst fears are that we, the field, the technology, the industry, cause significant harm to the world. I think if this technology goes wrong, it can go quite wrong.